How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in this candy apple red 1966 Ford Mustang Coupe, the 289 and an automatic transmission. Try to get this test drive done here before the rain starts. We're supposed to have some scattered showers here in the next couple hours, so should be good for the next 10 minutes on our normal test drive. Alright, so again we have a stock style 66 Ford Mustang Coupe. This particular car has a non-original 289 in it. The date code on the motor is a 1968 model motor, so we know it's not the original block. But it runs like a stock 289, backed by a 3-speed C4 automatic transmission, shifts nice and positive, doesn't have any issues with the transmission, goes down the road really nice and straight. Other options it has, power steering, and then it does have a power disc brake conversion done on the front. I am not the one that put the brakes on the car, but it does look like a relatively new setup as far as the brakes go. The master cylinder and the brake booster, all that stuff looks relatively new. As far as the brakes go, it does stop really well. For me, it just has a little bit of a softer pedal than I'm normally used to. Again, no issues with stopping. It's just the pedal's got a little bit of travel in it before it picks up on the brakes, but it does stop really nice and straight. Just once you drive it once, you'll be used to how the brakes work. We bled them. There's no issues with air in the lines, but again, there just is a little bit of travel in the brake system there. Power steering again works nice. No issues with any of that. This is a non-AC car. The heat is hooked up. The blower motor works well for the heat. You could easily add vintage AC if you want to. They make direct kits for these first generation Mustangs. The best way to put this car is, if you imagine a stock style driving Mustang, that would fall into this category. It's showing 88,136 miles. I don't know what the true miles are on the car, but that's just what the odometer is reading. As far as the interior goes, it is a stock black bucket seat interior Mustang. You have your standard Mustang bucket seats, standard back seat. It is a factory black interior car. Factory style dash pad. I'm guessing all of this has at least been recovered once in the vehicle's life. The dash pad looks good. The headliner, the visors, all that stuff looks nice. I don't see any holes or really any wrinkles. The headliner is very clean. Door panels are nice. Couple small little scuffs on the glove box door there, just really minimal. The carpet's nice, has the nice Mustang mats in it. Gauges are all stock style gauges and really easy to see. You have your fuel, oil pressure, speedometer, your amps, and then your temperature gauge, and all that stuff is working well. The short list of no's on this car is the horn doesn't work, the reverse lights, when you put it in reverse, the little white lights and the tail lights aren't coming on, and the rear windows are not wanting to roll down, and we'll dive into that a little bit further when we get a little further on our test drive. Get my mirror set up there. We'll get on it a little bit. Again, not a race car, but it does run well. The exhaust is still exhaust manifolds, does have dual exhaust on it, and then the mufflers are an aftermarket muffler. It's like a Flowmaster style, but it's not a Flowmaster. It's like a knockoff Flow, but it sounds good going down the road. You have your full tailpipes as well. The underneath is super clean. As you can see, from the toe boards back to the rear frame rails, the floors are painted with red oxide primer. It's all very clean. The lines all look good. Frame rails are in excellent shape. So no rust issues on the bottom side of this particular Mustang. It's a very clean car. Like any old car, you can get a little drip here and there, but nothing major. A couple very tiny little drips if it sits in the same spot for about a week, but it's minimal at best. The exterior is a factory coated candy apple red car. I don't know when the repaint was done. Paint quality is nice. It's got some stone chips on the front of the hood, some miscellaneous little touch-ups down both the sides from being driven. Nothing that's egregious, just smaller stuff. Again, on the hood, there's a small little crack on this side of the hood over here. And then on the rear, top of the rear quarter panel and on the top of the deck lid, in the right light, it has a little bit of solvent pop. You can see, again, minimal stuff. When you walk up to the car, it has a great shine. It looks good down the sides, just some smaller imperfections to note. Take a look at our additional infos tab on our website. If you scroll below the photos, you'll see a tab that says test drive. That's what you're watching. And then we have our walk around video. And then we also have our additional infos tab. That's got all the extra important information like photos of the flaws, motor numbers, door tag, and pretty much everything else that's applicable for every car that we post. We take extra photos of all the imperfections. Excuse me. So you'll see that in there as well. We'll take it down our bumpy road here. Back on the windows, you have your standard manual windows, manual locks. The front windows roll up and down like they should. The side vent glasses open and close well. The rear windows on both sides, you can get them to go down and you can get them to go back up, but they definitely need some assistance. Most likely the regulators on the inside of the quarter panels there, or inside of on the inside of the interior quarter panel trim. You need to pop those off and replace those. Again, they make every single thing for a first generation Mustang. You could build one of these cars from a front bumper to a rear bumper and everything in between. And that's part of the reason why Mustangs of really any era are super popular, because they're easy to work on and you can get absolutely everything for most years on them. Suspension is stock style equipment, spring, shocks, everything looks good. No issues with any of that stuff, no weird sounds. It goes down this bumpy road really well. One thing I forgot to mention on the mechanicals, this does have an aftermarket Champion aluminum radiator with an aftermarket overflow tank as well, so it stays nice and cool. Haven't had any overheating issues with it. You do have a little aftermarket Mustang radio with some speakers in the back. It is an old school one with a little cassette player. Then you have your standard heat controls underneath the dash there. Then you have your wiper control and then your light switch over there, and then you have your dimmer switch, or your high beam switch, excuse me, for the high beams on the floor. That's actually a kind of a funny thing. I get people that call me all the time. Hey Mike, I bought this car from you. I don't know what this little switch does on the floor up here right next to my left foot. And then I tell them to turn the headlights on and then click that switch, and then you got your high beams. So a lot of people don't know that. That switch on the floor there is for your high beams. Hear the exhaust. So my overall feel on this Mustang, great Mustang, love the color combo. It's hard to beat a first generation Mustang that's red with black interior. The only thing I would really want to add is some aftermarket AC. I would put a console in it too. I'm a console guy. I like to have my elbows sitting on it while I drive, but this is still a very comfortable driving position. The seats are very comfortable. Just a nice clean car, well-kept car. I wouldn't classify it as a fully restored vehicle, but someone definitely took the time to paint the floors at some point of the car's life. It's had some really nice upgrades. The engine bay is very, very clean and very sanitary. Everything on this thing was done with a purpose, and it shows really well. And just a fun stock style driving Mustang. And like I touched on before, if you are going to do anything, any upgrades, I'm not sure there's a more cost-effective classic car to do upgrades to than a first-generation Mustang. I'm not joking. If you've never built a car or messed with old cars and you're looking at getting your first one, a first-generation Mustang or Camaro is what I push everyone towards. Because like any old car, you're going to have problems, you're going to have to work on them, things are going to come up. But buying parts for a Mustang is the most cost-effective old car to work on. They make absolutely everything. Your imagination can be filled with the parts that you can get for these cars. There's endless amounts of stuff you can upgrade to, or if you want to go back stock, you can restore it back to stock. So always a good option if you're looking for your first car or your first classic car. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else you want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates on the content we're putting out daily. Check us out at pcclassiccars.com, and we'll see you guys on the next test drive video. Thanks again, and I hope y'all have a nice weekend. We'll pull up to my my Viper here.